PD then arrested the 27-year-old golfer, putting him in the back of a police cruiser. He was then charged and booked in downtown Louisville in the jail, having his mug shot taken. And just after 4 this afternoon, Scheffler talked to reporters.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was just a huge misunderstanding this morning that'll get resolved, I think, fairly quickly. And yeah, I mean, I came here for a golf tournament. I was driving in this morning trying to get to my warm-up time and get ready for the round of golf. You know, I didn't really have an understanding of what had transpired this morning.
The first thing Scotty Scheffler said in his press conference was in regards to that crash, extending his condolences to the PGA vendor that was killed.
Our team has been following both developing stories all day long. It's a big national story today. Senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez has more on Scheffler's arrest and how the fans have supported him on the course. But first, we do want to start with Ian Hardwitt. Ian, can you tell us about the man who was tragically killed this morning?
Doug, that man is John C. Mills of Crestwood, Kentucky. He died on his way to work to the golf course this morning when a bus crashed into him. He was 69 years old. PGA officials tell us he worked for one of the tournament's vendors. LMPD said Mills crossed Shelbyville Road around 5 in the morning. The department's only update since the initial accident report says they are in the process of conducting a thorough investigation. Traffic plans for the event discouraged walking to the golf course, but plenty of spectators went on foot, moving along a congested Shelbyville Road. At this time, we still don't know if exceptions were made for workers like Mills. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear mourned the tragedy earlier today.
When we have an incident like a pedestrian being hit, please follow the instructions of those that are out there that are trying to guide traffic, and know that there could be something tragic that happened on the other end of it. But I do hope that there's a way to work through this.
This comes after police reported 2 other crashes near Valhalla on Thursday, each involving a car and a bus. LMPD said between the two, only one driver had a major injury. We've asked LMPD for clarifications on their traffic plan throughout the day, such as if there was a dedicated crossing for workers like Mills, but they haven't responded. There are no charges filed this time against the driver who hit Mills.
All right, Ian, thank you very much. Taking an in-depth look at the statement released by the mayor today. He said, quote, "This morning, our city experienced a tragic accident that took the life of John Mills, a Louisvillian who will be greatly missed by his family and our community. Our focus is on this family who lost their loved one. I have spoken with members of Mr. Mills' family and convey our city's condolences." And now to that big arrest dominating headlines across the country this morning. The world's best golfer, Scotty Scheffler, arrested, booked, charged, and released within 3 hours.
It was a quick turnaround. He still made that tee time this morning at Valhalla, which happened right at 10 a.m. Just after 10, the pro is now facing 4 different charges, including a felony. Here's the list: assault of a police officer that stems from allegedly dragging the police officer behind his car, which the officer says resulted in injuries. That's a felony charge. Criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding signals from officers directing traffic. As you can see, Scheffler's in an orange jumpsuit. Metro Corrections told us they changed their policy in the last year, and everyone is now put into an orange jumpsuit before their mugshot is taken. Senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez and photojournalist Emma Gefter report on how Scheffler saw an even bigger crowd of support on the course today.
My situation will get handled. It was just it was a chaotic situation and a big misunderstanding. I can't really get into what transpired outside of, my heart goes out to the family.
What unfolded at the Valhalla entrance Friday morning was something the world's #1 golfer is still trying to process. Arrested and later booked into Louisville Metro Corrections just before 7:30 in the morning.
I did spend some time stretching in a jail cell. That was a first for me. That was part of my warm-up. I was just sitting there waiting. And
his tee time fast approaching. Was playing even a possibility?
Like I said, it was very chaotic, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get to my tee time. And outside of that, things escalated from there. I did numerous apologies and whatever, but like I said, it was chaotic. It's dark, it's raining, there's a lot of stuff going on. They just had an accident. I didn't know what had happened at the time, other than there was an accident. I didn't know that it was fatal.
By 10:08, Scotty Scheffler had driver in hand.
Everybody loves a rebel. Look at Tiger, look at John Daly. Those dudes got arrested. They're incredible.
Nice one, Scotty. Way to go!
Well-known Louisville attorney Steve Romines, representing the major champion, attributes the arrest to a miscommunication.
He did exactly as he was instructed to do to enter the premises. The officer that was directing traffic was maybe not part of the event traffic detail, and so that's where the miscommunication arose.
In the arrest citation, LMPD says their detectives stopped Scheffler and attempted to give instructions. They write he, quote, refused to comply and accelerated forward, dragging the detective to the ground, causing cuts to his left wrist and knee. But Scheffler's team claims mixed messaging between two different officers.
I was pretty rattled, to say the least. You know, the officer that took me to the jail was very kind. He was great. You know, we had a nice chat in the car that kind of helped calm me down. And I was sitting there waiting to kind of go in. I asked him, I was like, "Hey, excuse me, can you just come hang out with me for a few minutes so I can calm down?" And you know, I was never, you know, angry. I was just in shock, and I think my body was I was shaking the whole time. I was shaking for like an hour. It was definitely a new feeling for me. And he came out.
Well, right now, Scotty Scheffler is scheduled to be arraigned. That would be coming up on next Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Well, events like this morning would rattle most people, and now players are having to perform under unusual circumstances. Our sports team, Ken Spencer and Mason Horodisky, have been hearing from the players, how they're reacting to what happened. Joining us now with more on those reactions. Kent, Mason, what can you tell us?
Well, all the players that we talked with this morning all say there was a very chaotic scene just trying to get to the golf course. Harris English said he had to turn around, take a 20-minute detour just to work his way in. Colin Morikawa said that he was able to talk his way into the Valhalla Golf Club before the situation really got chaotic, especially he was able to get in the golf club before the incident happened with Scotty Scheffler. But when it comes to Scotty Scheffler, he certainly got an amazing amount of support from the patrons and the fans here at Valhalla today.
Oh, to say the very least. Almost every single hole, it seemed like he got some sort of ovation today. The crowd very firmly behind him for, I said it earlier today, just a very bizarre situation that kind of transpired here. Even the group that Scotty was in today with Wyndham Clark and Brian Harmon, I tried talking with them after things were done. They very much did not want to talk afterwards, because you have to remember at the end of the day, as much as Scotty was obviously the most affected by his arrest, everything else has affected a lot of other players as well.
And you know, when we talked to Shane Lowry afterwards, I think he described the situation as perfect leading up to this second round of play. He just said it felt eerie.
And it's dark, it's raining, police lights everywhere. I mean, it was very strange coming on the course this morning. Not the normal quiet arrival, and obviously got here this morning. Then news broke that Scotty had been detained and all that, so we had no idea what was going on. I mean, that could have been any one of us.
First off, it's unfortunate for the person that did pass away earlier today. I mean, I don't think that's getting talked about enough, or at all. So my wishes and prayers are within that family's, blessings. But
I mean, first and foremost, it was a really sad story about the incident, and I think that probably hit me more than anything else. Obviously, what happened with Scotty was unfortunate as well, but as much as possible, you've kind of got to stick to your normal routines.
There's a lot of things we're balancing back and forth, and by the time I went into the workout trailer, I knew I had to focus and not worry about anyone else. It's very hard to do that when things are going around you.
All right now let's take a look at the leaderboard for the 106th PGA Championship here at Valhalla. Colin Morikawa is your leader at 11 under par. Tied for first is Xander Schauffele, yesterday's leader after round one. He is 2 under currently in round two. Scotty Scheffler, despite everything that happened this morning, shoots a 5 under par round in round two. He's currently 9 under par, 2 shots back. And Mason, after his round today, Scotty Scheffler went to the practice area to continue to work on his game despite everything that has transpired so far on this Friday.
The fact that he said how rattled he was after everything that happened to him today, and he still has the wherewithal to go out there and continue to work on his game and post a 5 under today. Talk about a mind that's a steel trap, man. That is unbelievable from the world's #1 golfer.
And Scotty Scheffler did say that waiting in a jail cell today, getting ready for his round here at Valhalla, he was stretching in his jail cell, watching ESPN of the coverage of himself in handcuffs as he was getting ready for this second round, hoping that he would be released and be able to make it to the golf course in time. Doug Shea, when Scotty Scheffler arrived at the golf course to about the time that he teed off, he had about an hour to get ready for this round.
Well, Kent, that brings me to the point I want to ask you. You know, nationally right now and even around the world, this is being considered one of the most unusual days in the history of the PGA Championship ever. By the time we get to Saturday, how do we lose the shadow of this? I mean, it's enormous with the tragedy and then, of course, this such strange arrest.
To be honest with you, I don't know if you ever lose what just transpired today. Someone's life was lost, and then the world's #1 player was arrested and detained by police. I think that this is going to be the memory of this PGA Championship, regardless what happens on Sunday. And let's be honest, whether it was in 2000 with Tiger Woods and winning a playoff with Bob May, or 2014 Rory McIlroy, winning, fending off Phil Mickelson and Ricky Fowler in the dusk as weather is moving in. I don't know if anything can happen on Sunday that will overshadow what just took place this morning.
I tend to agree with you. I mean, myself and our producer, Dewey, worked on a piece this week about all the iconic moments that have happened here with the PGA Championship at Valhalla, and I think you're right. When you look back on what this was, people will, whether it's fair or not, remember this as the PGA Championship where Scotty Scheffler was arrested.
All right, in Louisville, of course. All right, thank you very much, both there live from Valhalla.
Taking a look outside right now, we certainly thought weather would be the big story out at the golf club today. It's a little bit different story, but Christina, I'm sure everybody who's out there is enjoying this nice break in the rain.
Yeah, it's not too bad, especially when you consider our temperatures. I know when I was out there yesterday evening, we were hanging on to some lower 80s. It was very humid, not much in terms of rainfall, though. It feels a lot better to be outside right now, though, at Valhalla for PGA. And it really just depends where you live with just how much rain you actually have picked up through the course of the afternoon. Just a little bit of distance makes a huge difference in terms of those rainfall totals so far. In fact, you got close to 1 inch of rain so far today around Jeffersonville over to LaGrange, but meanwhile here in Louisville we barely got to about 1/4 of an inch, and it's still coming down for some of us, but especially in southern Indiana and the Bedford and Mitchell area. You've been seeing this heavy rain for over an hour at this point. You can tell on that radar loop that it's really not moving at all as it just continues to dump more and more rain over this same area, so watch out for any pooled up water on the roadway. Elsewhere, though, we have a quick little shower that's right over Henryville and Sellersburg, and then moving out of you folks to LaGrange and over to Newcastle. I'll tell you when we can expect to completely dry out coming up here in just about 10 minutes. Doug and Shay.